Okay, hope this works again. I don't know what happened, but we're just gonna go ahead and we're gonna try this one more time. Hey girls, okay, I see people joining. Okay, hey Amy. Okay, so, do you guys remember, hey Sarita? Okay, good, everybody's coming back. Let me tap this, let me flip it. Okay, hey. So can you guys tell me really quick where we left off? Because I was talking for a while and then I realized I'm like, there's no comments and there's no hearts. There's like no nothing. Oh, really, Jen? You were commenting, but we couldn't see it. Oh, we could see you fine. You just couldn't see the comments. Okay, cool. So if that happens again, I'm just going to keep going, okay? Okay, good. So we're all caught up to date, right? So we talked about the different questions that we can ask ourselves when we're making a homeschool mission statement, right? Okay, cool. And that it's a collaborative effort, and we want to involve our children in it, right? You guys got all that, right? I just couldn't see you. Yeah, see, something's going on with my Android now. I don't know what's up. So anyway, let me just tell you really quick, as we're at 2 o'clock, so I'll just quickly get into my own homeschool mission statement. So, Jen, okay, good. Yay! Hey, Holly, thank you for sharing. So in my post, I talk a little bit about, making a mission statement, and then I switched to what our homeschool mission statement is, because some of you saw that. We talked a little bit about it in my homeschool room tour. So what I did to make a mission statement is I I thought about those questions, and I made kind of a chart, and I said, well, what do I want my children to be? What do I want them to know, and what do I want them to feel? So as far as being, that more had to do with like different virtues and characteristics and qualities. I wanted them to be resourceful. I wanted them to be diligent. I wanted them to be industrious. And as far as what I wanted them to know, that was more like the skills that I want them to know. And then how I want them to feel. To me, emotional intelligence is very important when they are adults and they're ready to move on into the world. I want them to be emotionally intelligent. I want them to be, to have a high self-esteem, not to be conceited, but to like who they are and to know that they are worthy and competent and of value. So I also made a list of what I wanted them to feel. And so I took a look at my list, and I realized, I thought, there were certain things that I listed under what I wanted them to know, like the skills that I wanted them to know, and I thought even some of those I could do without. Like, I really want them to learn a musical instrument, but honestly, I don't know how to play a musical instrument. If they end up graduating and they still don't know how to play a musical instrument, I'm good with that. I wanted them to learn a second language, but honestly, I speak a little Spanish, but not a lot. So I thought, what, if they don't learn a second language, I'm good with that. So I took a look at everything, and I thought, what is it that I really want the most for my children? What is the reason I'm really, really doing this? What is it that I want them to come out with? And I realized it was a set of principles. And I am a Bible student. I do read the Bible. I am religious and a spiritual person. And so I wrote down the principles, and I found a scripture in the Bible that accompany each principle. And that is my homeschool, amen, Amy. Yeah, that is my homeschool statement. So I'll share a few of them with you, but I don't want to take up everybody's time. I want to keep this short. So thank you, Brandy. Thank you. So I'll share a few of those with you. One that I chose was, I want them to never stop asking questions and seeking truth. I want them to be curious. I want them to be resourceful. I want them to want to know answers. So the scripture that I chose to go along with that is at Matthew 7:7. Keep on asking and it will be given you. Keep on seeking and you will find. So, again, I want my children to be resourceful. There's so much knowledge in this world that we can't possibly come close to it. Lifelong learners. Yes, it's a perfect word, Brandy. There's so much knowledge in this world. We can't possibly teach them everything. Oh, thank you, Jen. Thank you. I'm glad you like it. It would be silly. It would be immodest for us to think that we could teach it all to our children, but we can teach them how to learn, and we could teach them or instill in them a love of learning and encourage them to go and seek answers, and not just answers, but to seek truth. That's something that's very important for me. The Bible speaks a lot about truth, and so that's something that I wanted them to kind of have ingrained in them, is to ask those questions and to seek the truthful answers to it. I also wanted them to give their very best effort. Exactly, Brandy. We don't know it all. We can't teach it all. I mean, that's the truth. A lot of people ask us as homeschool moms, how do you know how are you going to teach your kids everything? Well, we aren't, but we could teach them how to learn, right? Yeah, exactly. So another principle I wanted them to think about is to give their very best effort, or just to regroup and take a time out if they can't. So yeah, research, exactly, research. And that is a skill that will take you far in life, right? Researching and being resourceful. Okay, so back to giving their best effort. Proverbs 10:4 says, the hand of the diligent one is what will make him rich. So time and again, we see the value of diligence. We see the payoff. Like, we know a lot of smart people, but they don't necessarily have success in life because they do not apply their intelligence, which is wisdom, right? There's a difference between being smart and being wise. Wisdom is the application of knowledge. It's actually applying it, and it's working hard at it. So I want them to know that they don't need to know everything, but I want them to work hard at what they do. And honestly, that is something that's going to take them far in the workforce as well. When they grow up and they're adults and they go out to work, they may not know everything, but if they're mild, if they're meek and teachable, and they are willing to learn and they're willing to work hard, that will take them very, very far. So I used Proverbs 10:4 to talk about that. In fact, and that kind of reminds me of Charlotte Mason's theory, how she would rather, I think I read this in one of the Charlotte Mason books, she would rather a child write one perfect A than a bunch of sloppy ones. She wants to teach them good habits and diligence. So I told my children, Lori, I'm so glad that you were able to get back in. So I told my children that if they truly are tired, their brain is tired, and they can't give their best effort, let me know and we can take a break. Oh, Candace, you're trying so hard to teach your kids obedience. That's funny, actually. I don't know if I'm allowed to announce this, so I'll keep it sort of secret, but there is a book coming out soon. I don't know if we could talk about it, but there's a book coming out, and I'm writing a chapter on exactly that. So I'm so glad that you said that, Candace. That made me excited. So anyway, yeah, just to be obedient, to be diligent. So yeah, I just tell my children, if you honestly are exhausted and you cannot do your very best, let me know and we will regroup. We will go put like, I'll put YouTube on and I'll put like this Disney song or kid song or whatever, and we'll dance for like 1 or 2 songs. We'll play a brain game. We'll go do something to reset our minds, because I want them to get into the habit of being diligent and just giving their best effort, because really that's all that God expects of us. I know some of you might not be religious, so that's okay, but you know the value of being diligent, right? Either way. So, how to get your kids better at problem solving. That's a good one, Jen. Yeah. So, there was another one. Like I said, I'm not going to read all of my homeschool mission statement. Hey, Haley. Thanks for joining. It's good to see you, girl. Okay, so I'll share one more of the principles and scriptures that I have in Fraggle Mama. Holly, you do brain breaks as well? Oh, yeah. So one more principle that I'll talk about is to focus on what we're doing right, to improve upon that. Welcome, Stacy. Hey, Haley. So, yeah, I said to focus on what we're doing right and improve upon that, which Psalms 130 verse 3 says, if errors were what you watched, oh, who could stand? So that goes along with another principle, to have a reasonable and modest view of ourselves and others. And at Galatians 6:4, it says, let each one examine his own actions and not in comparison with the other. So why did I choose this as part of our mission? Well, I noticed that as students, and this goes for adults as well as children, we can be hard on ourselves. I grew up in public school. My children went to public school for their first, well, my son went for his first couple of years. My daughter went for kindergarten. But they give grades, they give percentages, and a lot of our, thank you, Lori, in a lot of our schools, sometimes we still give percentages and grades too, and we're doing an online math curriculum right now, and it gives percentages, and yeah, you know what, just really quick, Purple Girl, please introduce yourself to me. I'd love to know you. You said you wanted this on reference for the rough days. I do. tape all of my Periscopes and I upload them to my YouTube. So just go to Nitty Gritty Homeschooling on YouTube, subscribe, and you'll see all my Periscopes on there. So you could replay it over and over. And I'm also on Catch.me. Okay, Purple Girl, your name is Kelly. Okay, great. So I met Megan today and Kelly. Okay. Hey, Haley. Welcome back. So, so getting back to that principle, to have a reasonable and modest view of yourself and to focus on what you're doing right. Because we can get caught up in those A's and B's, and we can get caught up in that 100%. And I know today my son had a rough morning. I could see it in his face. I could see it in his body language. And I'm like, honey, what's going on? And he's like, I'm frustrated because I'm not passing this math lesson. He wanted to pass it right away, and he kept having to redo it over. And it could be so easy for us to get down on ourselves. My daughter ended up doing the exact same thing. She got frustrated, and she's like, I got this wrong. I'm getting it wrong. It's too hard. I mean, how many times have us ladies seen our children like that, right? How many times in life have we been like that with ourselves? Maybe not in homeschool, but with other things in life. But you know, we have to stop being so critical of ourselves. I use the example in my post of how they train animals. Animal trainers use positive reinforcement. They constantly reward when somebody does something right. They focus on that. They don't focus on what they did wrong. They focus on what they're doing right. They encourage that. So I try to tell my children, like, let's look at what you're doing right. Or let's think about the fact that, you know, it's okay to make mistakes. You're going to grow. You're going to grow and you're going to learn and you're going to get better. We are going to get this done today. So I just really want them to have a positive view of themselves and a positive view of learning and mistakes. Brandy, that's wonderful. We are born learners, not knowers. Exactly. One thing I tell my children all the time is, well, this is school. This is the point of school. We're here to learn. If we knew everything and we wouldn't make mistakes, then we wouldn't have to go to school. So school is filled with mistakes and not knowing and learning, right? So, yeah, I just noticed my kids, you know, sometimes get a little down on themselves, and I didn't want them to be that way. So I made that part of our homeschool mission statement, that we want to focus on what we're doing right. We want to commend ourselves, pat ourselves on the back, and not compare ourselves with each other. Right. Haley, mistakes are needed. Even learning to struggle teaches great values. Haley from Haley's Vintage, actually, I quoted her in my post on Keeping It Real, Homeschool Confessions. If you scroll down, there's a little quote from Haley, and it talks about the value of making mistakes. So that's so true. That's so true. So, yeah, if we focus on the negative, we become downhearted. Oh, I know what I was going to say. I was talking about comparisons. Now, I have two children that are opposite personalities, and because of that, their brain chemistry is very different. My son he's very left brain, and my daughter's very right brain. So there's things that, there's activities that we do, and he's flying through it. And, yeah, Amy. So there's activities that he flies through and my daughter doesn't get. And then there's activities that she just does well at, and it's a little bit more difficult for my son. So sometimes they look at each other and they compare each other and they say, well, they feel bad. So that was another reason why I talked about having a reasonable, modest view of themselves and of others. And that's why I included Galatians 6:4, because it says, examine your own actions not in comparison with the other person. We all are beautiful. We're all wonderful. We all have a talent. I believe very much in multiple intelligences. Howard Gardner, he came up with the multiple intelligences. It's something that I teach to my children. They take the multiple intelligence test and they love it. They love it because they're able to say, oh, I'm good at this and I'm good at this. And it really boosts their self-esteem. And it shows them, like, in a concrete, literal, tangible way, they can see their different scores. And they can see, oh, yeah, I'm different. I'm unique. Yeah, I'm not like you, but look at what I can do. So that's a really good tool to use, too, if you're interested. Oh, the test, the multiple intelligence test. Okay, I'm going to do another scope on personality tests and the multiple intelligence test because, yeah, Amy, girl, I'm a psych girl. I was thinking today, I was like, I'm going to go back to college just for psychology courses. Forget math and history. I'm going just for psych. Holly, okay, you need a review scope tutorial. Okay, so, I'm going to do another scope on the personalities and the temperaments and the intelligences, because I tried to scope about a month or two ago, and it kept freezing. The screen kept freezing, and when I watched the replay, a lot of it was taken out. So remind me, girls, to do that. But just to answer your question, you can take the test at mypersonality.info. You make an account, it's free, and you can, but you know what? Even if you just Google or search for multiple intelligence test for kids, many different tests will come up. So you'll find lots of them, but my favorite is at mypersonality.info. But yeah, we'll talk about that again. So, or in another scope. So anyway, let me just show you really quick, in case you didn't see it before. Yay, Shanna! I'm gonna flip this screen. Okay, so you guys probably saw a lot of this, but this is my schoolroom. That's my dry erase board. And it is framed and on the wall and has an adorable little butterfly. But this is my mission statement. I put it on the wall where we can see it when we get frustrated, when we're having a bad day, or when we lose our focus. We can stand up, we can come over here and read it together and talk about it, and we can remind ourselves of our goal and our mission. Now, this is just my mission statement. You guys might have a different mission statement. There we go. So your guys' mission statement might look different. It might be a few pages long. It might be just one sentence or one paragraph. Oh, Amy, you're so sweet. I love you. Oh, I hope my kids think that. They're like, no, she's not. She's not a good mom. She's mean. She grounds us from Minecraft. Oh, Lori, you guys. See, this is why I love it. This is why I want to scope every day. Oh, Amira, welcome. So anyway, I guess that's it. Okay, so it was somewhat quick. Not really. It's a half an hour long. So anyway, Holly, you have yours in several places. Oh, that's so good. And Booper has his own as well. You know what? That's a really good idea. Amy, we need each other. We do. Lori, love you too. Love you too. Yeah. Holly, that's a great idea. Let's all do what Holly does. Let's have our kids do a mission statement, right? Amira, good to have you. Yes, please. There's going to be 2 replays because I stopped it, then I started over. It was my bad. It was my fault. My tablet was acting up. So anyway, okay, well, I guess we've come to our end. I love you, ladies. Thank you so much for joining me today and for watching. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you for sharing. I hope that you got something out of this. If you want to know a little bit more, if you want to see all of my homeschool mission statement, I posted it on my blog. Oh, good, Sarita. Thank you so much. And Sarita, I caught your replay. I meant to give you a shout out as well because I loved the worksheets that you were showing. So everybody at Oheim's Mama, Sarita has a scope that I hope is still on there. You can only watch it on Periscope for 24 hours, but I hopefully you've been saving to catch, Sarita, because you had a really great scope. And I think I missed a couple of comments. I'm so sorry. A chore binder, very cool. And it really, I liked it because everybody was able to it is on Catch. Okay, good. So everybody follow Sarita on Catch and check out her really cool binder for her children. Yeah, Haley, that was my little girl. Photo bomb. Yeah. Okay, well, I got a friend waiting on me. Oh, got a busy afternoon. I don't want to say goodbye though. But thank you again, ladies. I love you. Have a great day. And as always, happy homeschooling.